So, just show me what kind of porn you'd normally click on.
Well, this feels like a trap, and I've never shared this with anyone before, but okay. Whoa, oh my god, are you crying? Please don't cry.
You know, the thing that I love the most about Netflix is the way they market and advertise their shows. It just kind of comes out of nowhere. Granted, I don't know if this marketing strategy is garnering any more success than, say, any TV show would, but it's definitely a more exciting approach. To hear a certain series is going into production and then not hear from it for like 2 years, and then all of a sudden the week before it comes out get a trailer is really exciting, and things like that just don't happen anywhere else. TV networks just stress way too much about marketing and how to get the show out to as many people as possible, when in all actuality, if the show is good, the audience will follow. Anyway, speaking of good shows, let's talk about Tuca and Bertie. In short, Tuca and Bertie is at its core a slice of life show about the relationship between the two of them and the many obstacles that bring them closer together. On the outside looking in, it looks like it takes place in the same universe as BoJack Horseman, but trust me, it is far from it. Going in, I wasn't really sure what to expect, but one thing I will let you know is that you shouldn't expect this show to be anything like BoJack Horseman in terms of tone. This show is really fun to watch, but in a way that BoJack isn't. BoJack is a show with fun moments, but the tone is often very grounded and downright cruel at times. But let's not make this video about BoJack. We have Tuca and Bertie to talk about.
Lately I've been out my mind, but I'm fine. In time I'll be rap genius. They'll see me as young Einstein. I'll grind.
Now, I'm gonna be completely honest, this show did not have the best first impression. By episode 3 I was in, but the first 2 episodes were a little too sporadic for me. It all relied way too much on cutaway gags, similar to Family Guy, but Tuca and Bertie does the same thing but in a way that just comes across as unfocused and off-putting. Not to say that cutaway gags can't work, it's just the over-reliance of them can really make you question the reason why you're watching the show in the first place. However, one thing that the show nails is the characters. Bertie is so likable that you just want to jump into the screen and give her a hug. She is easily the best character and the one with the most room to grow. I saw a lot of myself in her, and I guess that's why I grew to like her so much. As for Tuca, she starts off as being just a comic relief character. Honestly, I didn't really enjoy her in that light. Whenever she is relegated to the B-plots of episodes, the stuff that they give her to do is rather boring and uninteresting, which sucks because in those same episodes, Bertie is given the most interesting stories. So now, whenever Tuca is on screen, you just want to hurry up and see what Bertie is doing. But believe me, it isn't all bad for her. There are a lot of episodes where her story does take the forefront and she is given the opportunity to shine in ways that Bertie doesn't. It's just, for a show that's called Tuca and Bertie, I expected Tuca to be just as interesting as Bertie. But who knows, it could be a me thing. I could like Bertie so much more than Tuca that Tuca seems uninteresting and not as preferable to me. But at the end of the day, the thing that's going to make or break the show is the character dynamic between Tuca and Bertie. And let me tell you, it is there. I believe in their relationship in every step of it. The show does a great job of making you really feel the connection between the two. And that's it. That's the key to having a good slice of life show. If you have the good character dynamic, that's all you need. When it comes to shows like these, you're not really looking for a great and gripping story, you just want to have fun and enjoy yourself and have something on in the background. It's truly as simple as that. If you like Tuca and Bertie, no matter what they're doing on screen, you're going to be enjoying yourself because you like them as characters. Speaking of characters, there's one I did forget to mention, and his name is Speckle. And he's kind of the third wheel of the group. He doesn't really get to do much despite him being Bertie's love interest. He doesn't really get his own time to shine. He does have moments and there are things that are really crucial to the plot that regard him, but he's not really the focus in really any of the episodes, which I do see as understandable as he is not the main character, but he is, you know, a part of the main cast. He does show up in pretty much almost all of the episodes, so you would expect him to kind of have some relevancy, but he is a really fun character and I did like what they did with him. Now, the setting of the show is really weird. There's really not much world building or explaining to how things work in this world. It just kind of has the art style of BoJack, but there's a weird twist to how the rules work. See, in BoJack there are anthropomorphic animals and then there are people. In this show there are people and then there are plants that walk around and talk, and then there are birds. But then every now and then you get to see a dog or anything like that, and it's like, I'm not really sure what the barriers are here. There's animals of all different sorts of species, but at the beginning of the show you start to think that it's just birds, but then no, now there's plants, and then now there's people. So I just kind of take that one with a grain of salt. Just there's anthropomorphic anything in this world, and I guess it's not really meant to be delved into. It's just something that's kind of there for the imagination, so the animators can have fun with what they're creating.
I'm actually here to make a high commitment purchase, a forever friend.
Oh, fuck yeah! Let me show you our longer lifespan animal.
Whoa. Easy, girl.
So let's talk about the animation, because Shadow Machine has kind of outdone themselves on this one. Now, whereas in BoJack the animation is very subtle, there's things in the background that are really interesting and nice to look at, and then there's some moments that are pretty jaw-dropping for a 2D animated cartoon. But in this show, they really just went with it. I mean, just down to the intro, to every little thing, there's energy in every single shot, and I really enjoyed that. Most shows, especially the ones that are trying to go for a more adult or mature tone, kind of sheer away from the really cartoony, exaggerated art style. But this one, it doesn't quite have the art style, but there are moments. There are tons of little bits and pieces where characters will go off model and get really loopy or kind of wet noodle like in a sense, and I kind of like it. There's not really many shows that go above and beyond or over that line. They kind of try to stay grounded and really make you not kind of get sucked out of that mature tone that they're trying to keep. But this show doesn't really have a mature tone. There are mature themes, there are mature elements, there's mature language for sure, but the characters themselves are goofy. They like to have fun. There's really wacky, crazy stuff that goes on, and honestly, that's what makes the show so fun to watch. There's just crazy, over-the-top stuff that is happening on screen at all times, and you can't help but, get excited whenever you see it. Now, as I did mention earlier, the show does take on some adult themes and does delve into a little bit of politics, and I know to a lot of people that could be a straight turn off, and they probably will cut the show off and say, what is this? I don't want any politics in my cartoons. But to me, I kind of like having those elements in there because it starts a conversation. It makes you think about these things that are going on in real life. And I know a lot of people would like to drown that out and like to watch it so they can turn their brain off and not have to think about that sort of stuff. But the show makes it in a way that's very respectable to the audience. It doesn't make you want to shrug your shoulders and just say, oh, come on, I get what they're referencing here. It's just kind of a generalization. It's things that happen in everyday life, and it sucks. It really does. But I mean, it's good to see these things because it lets you get more open-minded to them and lets you see it from different perspectives, and specifically from the female perspective. I mean, watching as a dude, there's a lot of things that I see that I can't necessarily relate to, but just seeing what happens to people on a day-to-day basis is really important. I feel like people should be exposed to it, and honestly, it's the only way that we're going to learn from it and grow as a whole. But anyways, in short, the show is good. It's very enjoyable, and the best part is the show has a good foundation. You can tell the show has its own identity. It's not coattailing off of anything else, which is actually hard to come by these days, so you should definitely check it out if you seem interested. I just want to say kudos to Netflix, and most importantly, kudos to Lisa Hannawalt. You made yourself a damn good show.
You don't give up on everything, Tuca. You never give up on me.
I guess there's some things I stick with. You, a pizza, my sports bra. It's old, Bertie.
I know, Tuca. I know.